Okay, all right. So today we are going over Unit 7, the fifth lesson. Now, what's the fifth lesson here? So we are talking about the distributive property. Now, we mentioned this very briefly at the beginning of the year, what a distributive property is. So in other words, right, let's imagine, right, back in elementary school, right, if your teacher would tell you or try to teach you how to do 8 times 23, one of the ways you could do it is by doing, instead of just doing this sort of vertical multiplication, instead of doing that is you could break the 23 down into 20 and 3. So if you do 8 times 20, that's 160, right? 8 times 3, 24, and then you get 184, right? And so using that similar logic, so for example, also, one of the things that we learned early in the year was, what happens if I give you this? Right, and I would ask you to rewrite this using the greatest common factor. So you remember that? Right, long time ago. Wait, hold on, no, oops, oh, rewind. Okay, that's not exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, that's the next topic. Oops, all right, got ahead of myself. So similarly, looking at the right side here, we can distribute, right? We could do 8 times n. Now, what do you think 8 times n is? Right, 8n, right? Just 8n. And then times 6. What's 8 times 6? 48, right? Positive. And that's it. So in other words, think about it like this. Combining like terms yesterday or in the last lesson, it makes an expression shorter. So in a way, you are simplifying an expression with combining like terms. So is the distributive property. What is the distributive property doing? It is making it shorter by getting rid of the parentheses. That's how you're simplifying. So again, imagine, right, if you're simplifying a fraction, right, you would get this. You're also simplifying this too, but when you're simplifying the expression, you're making the expression shorter. So in the last lesson, you're combining like terms, right? So instead of having like, I don't know, 6 terms, you now have 3 terms, okay? Here you're simplifying the expression by getting rid of the parentheses. And how do you get rid of the parentheses? You multiply, you distribute. Okay, so that's what that means. So having said that, let's try some of these together. Okay, so what do you think this one would be? So here we got 5 times 3m, right? So what's 5 times 3m? Yep, 15m. So think of it like this. If you got 3 m's, or let's say 3, I don't know, what's a word that starts with an M? Oh, man, I can't think of one right now. All right. So if you got 3 of these m's, and now you're gonna have 5 times the amount, you would have 15 m's. Okay. Likewise, so here we got subtract. What's 5 times 6? That's right, 30. And that's it. This is it. Okay, this is as simple as it gets. Okay, and I mean simple as it gets, meaning like simplified. As simplified as it gets. There's nothing more to this. Okay, now here, let me ask you, how does this question here look different than this question here? Can you spot the difference? Right. the X here is over here. It's in the back, right? Because here the letter is in the front. But that doesn't change anything. You can still multiply. Now, if you insist on rewriting it, right, 5x plus 5, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you because that doesn't change the answer. Okay, so let's come back here. 3 times 5, that's 15. So you see how we're doing the double rainbow method? You know what? I'm going to do this for you guys. We'll use the rainbow pen, okay? I know this will make you guys very happy. All right, so 3 times 5x. What is that? That's a plus, by the way. So 3 times 5x, 15x. Okay? All right. Now, how about this one? How is this one different from the other two? Yeah, this multiply here, right? It's in the back. So again, if it give you some peace of mind, you could go like that, okay? And then you could do the double rainbow again. Oh, I gotta pick a thinner pen, right? So what would this be? Think about it. Right, 5x. So 5 times x is just 5x. It's like imagining you have 5 times 1x, right? That's 5x. 5 times 9. And let's not forget the 45, right? No, wrong pen. All right. Okay, that's how you do it. All right, let's do one last one together, and then you can practice. So here, right? Now, how's this one different from all the other 3? Look closely. Yeah, there's a subtracting 1 at the end. So we're going to distribute this first. And then we're going to see what happens there. Now, please, do not multiply the 10 with the 1 here. You can only distribute this multiplier with what's inside the parentheses, or to what's inside the parentheses. If it's outside of parentheses, you leave it alone for now. So 10 times 2a, what's that? Yep, 20a. 10 times 2, 20, and then minus 1. Now look at this, right? Look at these 3 terms. Is there anything that's in the same family? Who's in the same family? So we got the A family, right? Which is by itself. We got the 20, and we got the 1. That's the number family. Okay, so we're gonna leave the 20A alone. And then we got 20 minus 1, right? What's 20 minus 1? 19, and that's a positive number, and that's the answer. Okay, so with that said, try these 3 on your own. All right, so press pause, and then we'll go over it. Okay, all right, so the first one, right? So 5 times b, that's 5b. Well, this part. Right, minus 5 times 1 is 5, 5b minus 5. Okay, what about this one? Now, that last one is a great question, by the way. So 4 times 3r, right, 12r, minus 4 times 8, 32. Okay, last one. Now, this one you got to be careful. You got to leave this guy alone for now. You got to distribute the 6 to whatever's inside parentheses. So don't think like, so don't do this. Don't do 8n times 5 and times 2 and times 6. No, 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 no. You don't get triple rainbow. All right. You just do 6, what's right outside multiplied by what's right inside the parentheses. So we got to do this. So we're going to rewrite everything first, actually. So we got to rewrite 8n. And now we're going to multiply. So plus 6 times 5, that's 30. Plus, right, this plus 6 times 2n, what do you think that is? Right, 12n. So that, now, look at this. Who's in the same family? Right. These 2 are in the same family, right? The n family, and then you got the number family. So again, letters come first. That's 20n plus 30. And there you have it, okay? So now one of the things I want to point out to you too, once you see some questions like this, always remember, you distribute first. You always distribute and then you combine. It's in that order. So don't combine it because there's like you can't combine this guy with this guy. Like you can't make it 10n and then like it gets messy. And not only is that messy, it's just plain wrong. So leave this term alone. Distribute by multiplying first. After you're done, look here and simplify. Simplify by combining like terms. So you're simplifying a lot here. First, you're simplifying by distributing. And what do you end up with? No parentheses. So notice how there are no parentheses here, right? So that's the first step of simplification. Afterwards, you simplify by combining like terms. So when we're talking about simplifying, we're talking about the distributive property and the combining like terms. They're both considered to be simplifying expressions. Just remember, you distribute first, like how we did it here, and then you combine next. And then finally, you'll have your answer, okay? Or simplified expression, not really answer. Okay, all right, I'm gonna sign off here. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
OMG, that was so good.